What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to kind of go over a couple of things regarding how I have SWG set up on my computer. I've tested this with Legends. This will pretty much work with any copy of Galaxies that you have, or any emulator server that you're playing on. Um, Now, one of the things about Legends that I always liked is they had the ability to update your graphics, add the old pre-CU interface mod, this, that, and the third. And yesterday, because I don't frequent the forums a whole lot, yesterday I decided, because I was trying to basically play NGE, without any mods or anything installed. And so I decided, I'm going to go and install ILM, and it was removed. So I went to go look up some information on it. There wasn't a lot out there, but I did come across, if it'll pull up, there we go, this forum post here. And apparently back in 9/20/2021, so towards the end of 2021, they basically had pulled support. I'm guessing the guy who worked on it, he decided to quit, probably had other stuff in life he wanted to do, and that's all well and good and fine. So they don't have nobody working on this. I had also noticed that they had mentioned at some point in the future, dropping a separate download link for those who still wanted to use that, but there is not a link for this that I found. It certainly wasn't on the thread, and that's fine. If you have a backup, of it, then you could probably use that, but you're no longer able to use this specific mod. So I wanted to know, like, basically, what were some alternatives? Were there some texture packs or what? And one thing I do want to kind of note, Glismo, one of the posters on the mod, they have in their signature this website that you guys can go to download, like if you want the old pre-CU interface, you can go and grab it up from there. And it's a few other things, that you can check out if you want. So that is an option. However, the option that I went with, because during my Google search, I had come across two videos regarding shading programs. One Reshade and the other one G-Shade, which I will link those two videos in the description also as well, along with these websites, or these links rather. And I'm basically going to just go over my settings that I used on how I've got my game working. Sorry, I haven't been up for very long. I probably shouldn't even be recording this right now, but it is what it is. So I went with Reshade because that was what I was most familiar with. If I can find the home button here, and I'm going to read off the settings that I specifically went with. I used some of the ones that the guy used on the G-Shade video, and I just kind of took notes from both videos to see which ones they ticked. Uh, you know, and unless you can read it, I mean, they didn't really kind of like really name off a lot. So I'm gonna actually name off everything that I have ticked in mine, in case you're old like me and you can't read that small ass print. So what I went with was adaptive sharpen. I went with clarity. I went with colorfulness. I went with dehaze. I went with filmic anamorphic sharpen. If I can read this crap, I went with Prod 0003 Shadows Midtones Highlights. I went with Sharp Contrast, and I went with Vibrance. So that is all that I have ticked so far on my current setup. And I'm going to run around and kind of just show you if I can get out of this. There. I'm going to kind of run around and show you the massive difference because I'm sure you guys already know what the game looks like without it. But like, this person's standing in the corner, the colors are kind of standing out a little bit more on them. Get a little more reflection on the helmet, like dude pointed out in the G shader video. Everybody kind of stands out a little more. And I really should have did this yesterday when everybody was doing a big old light show in here, because the lights actually stand out a whole lot more as well too. But nobody's on doing light shows. Oh, there we go. Well, that was quick. Alrighty then. So we're gonna go outside. Here we go. You can kind of see with their little baton there that they're waving around how the colors kind of stand out a little bit more. Alright. It kind of makes me think, honestly, right now, has that somewhat. Okay, here we go. This looks nice. Somewhat kind of a cartoony effect. Makes me think of like those games where they try to like make them look like cartoons. One of those Spider-Man games and Transformer games. It kind of has that effect, like a comic book cartoonish effect with the colors. I don't know if this is something I'm gonna stick with. If I do change it, I will definitely do a video updating what my settings are and what I'm testing out. I'll probably cycle through a couple of different things, but I think I'm predominantly going to stick with this for now. So it definitely brings the textures out a whole lot more. Everything sort of stands out. Like if you look up there, even the moon seems to kind of stick out a little more. Smoke. Even walking up to this, everything's just a little more shiny, has that metallic look. Now the walls do look kind of grainy. I'm not even gonna lie about that, but I've also installed texture packs where it more or less essentially had the same exact effect. But the difference between using, like a program with Reshade, or G-Shade if that's your preference. I'm just more familiar with Reshade. I mean, I don't use these type programs very often. Um, but I was definitely more familiar with this particular one. But like you see, like even the paintings kind of stand out a little more. The colors are out there a little more. You can even tell where Wookiee wiped his ass or whatever, up against the wall there. I'm not gonna zoom in on it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And that's where, like Wookiees definitely kind of start pissing me off or whatever, because I mean, like if you're gonna like wipe your ass out in public, it's bad enough, if you're gonna be nasty, but at least wipe on one of these paintings, man. Nobody will ever know the difference. I mean, at least have enough common sense to do that. But as I was saying, the big difference between using Reshade, a program like Reshade, versus a complete texture pack that overhauls the entire game is that with texture packs that I've played with in the past, See, look at that. That's so nice. That's a nice paint job. Even that speeder stands out. Is that texture packs more often than not, will clip because the way they work, the way they basically work is they overlay or overlap over already existing textures. So sometimes you will get clipping action between the original texture and the new texture that you have. So if you go with the texture pack that say, high definition mods, you got that big resolution and stuff, um, you can sometimes run into like clipping action with the game, whereas with a program like Reshade, you're not really gonna see that type of clipping action. Yeah. In fact, you're not gonna have any clipping at all. But you see everything kind of just looks a little more colorful. The characters stand out a little more. I've never been in here that I can recall anyway. So I'm just kind of being nosy. Doesn't look like they have anything else in here. Uh, I might just come back and move in if I can figure out how the hell I can get out. I may not want to move in. I get lost in this house. Oh, I even like the way that couch stands out even more. And even the furniture looks better. Uh, no. And I'm going to record me running around in a big circle because I have no idea how the hell I can. There we go. Yeah. Because that's a perfect example of how you can get lost in a house when playing Galaxies. And I'll run right back to the cantina, provided I'm going the right way. I never claimed to be the most directional Wookiee in the world, but I meant to take the scenic route. And because I want to show off all these awesome textures, the smoke, even the lighting looks a lot better. I mean, this is on Tatooine. I mean, one of the ugliest planets in the game. So, I mean, if it can make Tatooine look good, just imagine what it does to the rest of the game. Especially in Mos Eisley. Alright, so there we go. Right back to the cantina. That. Alright. So we're right back to the cantina. Sorry, people. I had to clip this part in. I had to cut a part out. Yeah, then I had a mod that I forgot I had installed on here. Nothing in the back here. I couldn't remember. So, since I busted myself out, I might as well go on and tell the story behind that. Fun fact, let me see, let's come over here. I forgot that I had a booby mod installed on this game. And the reason for the booby mod, fun story, fun fact, back when this game came out, oh, there we go. So you guys can check out the light show there. So back when this game came out, back then in 2003, people, had pretty much treated because it was a virtual reality simulation of the Star Wars universe, especially the pre-CU version. Um, that's why so many people gravitate towards that. And in my guild, for whatever reason, the ladies always felt the need to want to change clothes in front of me, which annoyed the living crap out of me. And they're like, we don't know what you're worried about, KOOL, or whatever. It's not like you can see nothing. So I'm sitting there like, oh, oh, is that the problem? Is that the problem? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Booby mod. And I made sure to let everybody in the guild know. And I made sure to let everybody in the entire city know KOOL now has Booby mod. And ever since that day, all the ladies practice this thing we big Wookiees like to call modesty. I've never had a problem with anybody changing clothes in front of me ever again since that day. They either went to their house or they took their ass in the other room and they made sure to let everybody know, to let KOOL know, don't come in the room, they're changing clothes. Now, some people might question that method, but it was definitely effective. Was definitely effective. So y'all can say about me whatever the hell y'all want to or whatever, but you know what? Keep your britches on. Keep your britches on. Because I never had that problem with the guys, but for some reason the girls always felt like they had to cycle through their damn clothes right there in front of my face. So that was my way of ending that. Right on the spot. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You kind of can sort of see how everything looks. And if you have any settings that you prefer to use using Reshade or Gshade, feel free to share in the comments below. I am definitely open to any suggestions on trying anything new for a first time regarding this game. So, y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Either way, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.